Hello everybody, my name is Zen Okami from Essence of Zen, and today we're doing RIP, Review in Progress for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. This is our first of a type of series, and I would love to get your feedback after the video, so please share your opinions at the end of the review in progress. Thank you. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee has been an interesting experience for me. There has been many changes, some that I've liked, some not so much, but assuming that you've been bombarded with various other opinions on what's right and what's wrong, allow me to set this point early in this video. Pokemon Let's Go is simply a different kind of Pokemon game. One that takes a lot of DNA from the original core games, but is not the same as the previous core games themselves. I'll dive deeper into this idea in the full review of another video, but I want to make that clear as to how I see this game. A different kind of Pokemon game. Just like Pokken is a fighting Pokemon game, Snapshot was a casual photography Pokemon game, Let's Go is a fusion of the core games and Pokemon Go for the mobile platform. Making this game feel like a catching game first, fighting, leveling, and stat-based game second. In short, I foresee the Let's Go series continuing on as an alternative to the type of game that we're supposed to be getting in 2019, still rumored to be Pokemon Stars of some sorts. Do I think Let's Go will affect the more traditional line of games? Yes, because overall there has been a lot of nice non-traditional things that are appealing. So, diving into those appealing concepts, let's take a look at what I've actually personally really liked about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. While a bit cheesy, I admit I like the fact that every party Pokemon gains experience after catching another Pokemon. This can become super cheese, via exploits and people taking advantage of this system, but for what Let's Go aims to be, it doesn't ruin the game at all. Another pro, being able to actually see the wild Pokemon on the damn screen. This has been a request by many for many years, and it helps avoid annoyances when going through various different cave locations and just trying to get through point A to point B quickly and you don't yet have a flying or fast travel ability. Granted, this almost makes repels useless, but believe it or not, it's still hard dodging some Pokemon even when you can see them on the screen, i.e. Onix and Ghastly, when at times going through very small cramped locations. Another fantastic thing about this game is your partner Pokemon. Your partner Pokemon being with you at all times, even if it's not in your party for battling, is awesome. Interacting with them is fun, cute, adorable. Though they could extend this to all the other Pokemons, but we'll get to that in a different segment of this video. But most importantly, having the ability to use secret techniques without holding on to those movesets for your Pokemon is a blessing. Now you can have your battle ready for attack moves for your partner Pokemon while also being able to fly, light something up, strength to move things, etc. Now this is actually something that I think should have been in the games, far, before Let's Go, and that is riding Pokemon. Be it on the stomach of a Snorlax or on the back of a Charizard, riding a Pokemon is incredibly fun. But it's not without its nitpicks either though, and again, we'll get to that as well in another segment of this video. Now, the biggest and best thing in my opinion, though very flawed, and we'll cover that as well, but the Pokemon box. I love the ability to swap Pokemon from anywhere, at any time, minus battles. But for the most part, the Pokemon box, I love the ability to swap the Pokemon from anywhere. Now those were some of the best things I liked about Let's Go, but there were also some irritants that I just cannot ignore without giving a little razz to the Pokemon company Game Freak. Granted, some of these are fall under the this isn't that type of game, But still, there's some points to be made about these things. So starting off on my list of one of the things that I hated the most, or one of the biggest annoyances or irritants, the Pokemon box. We cannot group Pokemon easily in the box, and when we're shiny hunting and chaining, we have tons of the same Pokemon in the box, it gets quite cumbersome not being able to have tabs to easily store and organize your Pokemon on the fly. Also, there's no real hotkey buttons. You have to literally click this and click that, aside from maybe one or two real useful hotkeys, such as just pick up and move versus the context menu thing. But that's besides the point. Also, the search features could be much deeper and much more expansive, but it seems a tad bit basic, which only adds to the frustration of going through a filled, full, annoying box of Pokemon that has the things you like and things you are just trying to send off to the professor. One thing I could say that they should do for the next Let's Go game, and I'm positive there will be Let's Go Johto, in your Pokemon box, have a context menu that is always showing when you're hovering over the Pokemon to show their stats. You shouldn't have to click into the Pokemon and then go to stats to see the full-on stats. Have a small, quick context menu. It doesn't have to be fully detailed, but this will be helpful in trying to find out which Pokemon you want to keep via their IVs. Please. Another thing that I actually had quite a big gripe with was removed abilities. No matter how I look at it, even if this is paying homage to the original Pokemon Red game, abilities just rock. While there are still natural abilities of Pokemon, such as Pokemon that are actually flying, they aren't affected by things like Earthquake. Not having abilities lowers the flexibility of complex battles, and overall I found myself getting pretty bored halfway through the game, before even reaching the Elite Four. Game picks up a little bit more after that, but we'll save that for the actual full-on review. Now, some people love this, some people hate this. Me, I'm kind of in the middle. This is one reason why I think Pokemon games would benefit from a difficulty setting or some type of fusion of you run into a wild Pokemon, you have the chance to immediately try to catch it or the chance to immediately try to battle. But I hate that there is no wild Pokemon battles. I enjoy being able to streamline catches when I'm hunting for shinies, etc. However, sometimes when you're testing out move combos or move sets or very precise strategies for a Pokemon, you may just want to do a simple one Pokemon battle, or in this case of Sun and Moon, up to 2 Pokemon battles with the SOS feature. Something else that I'm sad to see that it's not there, as well as dual Pokemon battles, because now you're the only one that can do basically 2 Pokemon out versus 1. That is boring. So I actually enjoy either a 2v2 or a 1v2 where I'm the one that's handicapped. But I digress. Removing wild battles also has made certain moves less ideal. Things like Furry Swipe or Wrap to leave Pokemon with 1 HP and also to prevent them from running so you can easily catch them. Now all that's useless because there's no wild Pokemon battles. You just run into a Pokemon and you start throwing Pokeballs. So on the bright side, however, this does make great use of the Pokemon currency. So now you actually use your money to buy a bunch of Pokeballs. Whether that's a good or a bad thing to you, that varies. Me, I actually find it a good thing to make use of currency so I'm not rich by the first quarter of the game like in all the previous Pokemon video games, but that's just me. Now, one of the things I spoke of earlier about with the partner Pokemon is there is no interactive care for your other Pokemon. You can feed and pet your partner Pokemon, but you cannot do that at all with your other Pokemon. Despite this being a thing in Sun and Moon, a game that came before the Let's Go series, it feels weird that Let's Go would exclude this feature. It's honestly kind of saddening when you check on your Pokemon, your partner, and then when you're done, you check on the Pokemon that's following you, and it gets jealous of your partner. And when it says, do you want to show them some attention, yes or no, you click yes. That's it. That's your attention. There is no feeding that Pokemon. There is no scratching or giving that Pokemon a high five. And the models are there. Even if you didn't have the opportunity or the quote-unquote funding, because, yeah, we'll get there. you didn't have the funding to have all these custom animations for every single Pokemon, 152, I guess if you count Meltan, maybe a bit more that I'm probably not thinking of. You could have basic animations, just really simple basic animations. But now, the top of the line gripe, the most frustrating, annoying, teeth grinding, frustratingly sighing thing about this game for me personally, there is no quick ride toggle button. Not being able to quickly toggle the ride ability, if you set a Pokemon to follow you and that Pokemon has you right on their stomach or their back or in their arms or whatever, you have to pause, go into the party, click on the Pokemon, and click, either put them away or click another Pokemon and make them your following Pokemon, and then exit the context menu, exit the party screen, exit the pause menu, and then there you go. The game doesn't make use of many buttons. Make one of them a toggle ride button. Please. Now overall, I'm enjoying my time with Let's Go, and I will say for the moment of recording the audio for this, I've actually made it to the end of the game. I've met some familiar faces and I caught some spicy Pokemans, but that'll be in the full review, which hopefully I can get done quickly, as well as because some of my time is being spent tossing in a hodgepodge group of fighters off a platform into oblivion. But that's my review in progress of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. I want to know your thoughts. Are you enjoying this new type of Pokemon game? Do you think this will become the mainstream replacer for all Pokemon games? Or do you think that them continuing the original traditional core style Pokemon games, that those will remain the main king and queen of the Pokemon gaming series? Because personally, I honestly don't know. I think Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee may appeal to a very large new crowd, and this new generation has the potential to lead the Pokemon games into this direction as being the mainstream one, and our old traditional ones being the obscure off-brand, for the hipsters, the oldies, the Pokeboomers. Did I just refer to myself as a boomer? Oh my goodness. But yeah, I will see you all in the full review of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee in the future. But until then, as always, take care.
March when